At Vibra Finance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Vibra Finance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Vibra Finance. We are the future of crypto.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Vibraville. And man, got some exciting news for you guys. My job here is to spend all day in the trenches on Twitter, in AMAs, just straight up listening, absorbing, taking in as much content, as much research, as much information as humanly possible. And today, man, listening to my man Allen, I call him, he's like an uncle now. I feel like I know him that well. He's an older guy. He's a legend. He's a boat captain. So he's met all kinds of different people. Super humble, grassroots dude. And man, does he have some alpha. So going to share that tonight. And earlier on the call with Rags' group, we were talking about how things are going to change for the average person where it's the one thing that everyone needs. The economy. People don't have money. Who is not buying crypto right now? Retail. Who is buying? Institutions. And there's a reason for that. But they're going to start cutting rates. The printer's going to come on. And the next 5 years, because of AI, because of just a change of technology, things are going to get super deflationary. And I think they have a plan for that. And in the past, when they print money, you have to offset that inflation into an asset class. And they've done it with real estate, with gold, commodities. But this cycle, I think it's crypto. I could be wrong, but all signs are pointing to it. And yeah, bro, LCX. I actually sold half my bag for Axelar like 3 months ago. So I'm only holding like 5,000 tokens now. So my bag's not much. It's only like, what's that now? It's $800, something like that. But man, I think this thing can go to a couple dollars. So if I can pull 10, 15 grand out of LCX, I'll be super happy. At Perp, this is one of the only places where you can leverage trade on optimism. So I'm bullish as hell on this. I accumulated 400 coins from my ZenFTs, and this thing was at $1.28. So if it can go to $2-3, cool. There's $1,000 off of $50 I put into ZenFTs on optimism, and that's not including my bag of Velodrome, which is another maybe $150. Guys, these things take time. All my bags that I've accumulated, it's been years. It wasn't just overnight, or I just bought everything and I'm just chilling. I built up these bags over years, over getting hacked, coming back from it, getting rugged, just doing dumb stuff, round tripping bags, but always learning from my mistakes, being transparent and saying, damn, how did I screw that up? And how can I be better the next time? And when you can look yourself in the mirror and be honest and not blame someone else for the reason, or blame the project, or blame the market conditions for why you fumbled your bag or round trip, whatever it is, figure out what you did wrong and just do better next time. And stack little wins and little wins and little wins. Gemini emailed me my seed phrase today, self-custody by May 23rd. Bro, Gemini will never email you your seed phrase. No MetaMask, no company will ever email you anything like that. That's all a scam. Delete it immediately. All right, so be careful with that stuff. Even me right now, I'm getting really good scammers in Twitter that are reaching out saying, hey, man, I'm a huge fan. I like your channel. Would love to talk to you about a position we have, or wanted you to do some marketing for us. and they're all scams, bro. Yeah, it's not Gemini though. Go look at the email and look where it's from. And I guarantee you it's for like some fake account that has Gemini in there. So be careful. But the hex is back down. Everything, man, on Pulse Chain. And the cores are bleeding, but what do you expect? I'm actually doing good. Goo God's teaching me, fam. I have this Trump coin, and I looked at it the last couple of days. It was like, man, this thing is just going crazy on volatility, and I missed these pumps. So I had 100,000 coins. I sold earlier tonight at 3,500, and I just rebought back here at like 29.99. So I added 15% to my bag on that clip or that sell right and buy. So now when this thing goes up again to 3,600 ish, I'm out. But it seemed like we made, I don't know. I guess we're making higher lows. So yeah, we're good. But it's nice to make these scalp trades. So next time on the 5-minute, I see one of these green candles like this, I'm getting out at the top and rebuying because there's no taxes on them. So no, it's not that much. 15,000 coin, 100,000 coins is $300. So what's that? 15% of that? Nice $45 little scalp trade. But when everything else is red, I'll take it. And guys, in the Finvest ecosystem, this is the website you got to go to see all your rewards. They change so rapidly. So on Pulse Chain, for people that aren't familiar, Finvest is the ecosystem with a bunch of reward coins, and they've been printing, but it's hard to find your rewards. So I have my bags now are worth $2,900. I did take some profits. I sold out of Remember pretty much because yeah, I'm out of Remember because the Pulse is done rewarding it. So I swapped it into more dominance because look at this. In the last 24 hours, I've made $84 and my bag's only worth $983. So that's almost 10% in the last 24 hours. 7%. Absolutely crazy. $57 yesterday, $65 April 22nd. So you could see when I sold, I realized what was going on. I found this website 3 days ago on the 21st or something, and then swapped all my Remember into dominance. And then look at that. My rewards went from $30 to almost $80 a day now. So I've got almost 2 full wrap Bitcoin. It was at $2,000 a couple months ago. So $1,000 is going to get me back almost 4K in returns. That's bonkers. And dominance now is on its dip, but it's flagging out. So I think it's gonna pump back up to like $3 again. Like we bottomed out, made a pump, and now look on the hourly. Look at that. I think we're flagging, but I'm not a chartist. For 2 days of doing that, that looks like a bull flag to me. A giant cup and handle, maybe. I don't know, but look at this chart. This thing's ready to go back up. Let's get the daily. Look at that. Come on now. That's a bullish chart to me, but I'm not a chart guy. So, even if it's not right now, if it comes back down here, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sell the rest of my gas money probably. Like, and Misor is not really printing that much. So like my Misor is only giving me $1. And my PDI printer, I have 1.2. So this is my only exposure left to PDI. I just keep adding when this thing drops down to like $40. I buy a little bit. I'm gonna probably start scalping this one too, actually, because it's been volatile as hell. I'm out of Remember, so I can take that off the watch list. But of course, I know Remember is gonna pump like hell now that I got out of it because that looks like a giant bull flag too. But where is it? Am I looking for PDI printer? Here we go. So like it was up to like 70 something bucks. So I actually made 20% today scalping that one. Look at this, like on the 5 minutes, been pretty crazy. Earlier today it was up here No, it was way higher than that. It was at like $70 earlier. And now we get the dying deck screener. So yeah, it was up here early or last night or whatever. I don't know, whatever it was, but you get the point. Little scalps. The alien chart is daily example of bull flag. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, and my other move I just made, I'll tell you in a second. Alien on the daily. So that wasn't a giant bull flag that I was looking at there on dominance, really. It's kind of the same thing, no? The giant downward pressure. That right there. That's exactly what that chart looked like to me, and then pop. But yeah, what I just did is I was looking at the ratios of AlienX and TitanX. So I figured, the AlienX, I have had like 4 billion TitanX and only 1.5 AlienX. So I was looking at the chart against TitanX, and we're so down at the bottom. Like, yeah, here's my buy right here. But what I buy 600 million AlienX. But I was looking at this like, all right, how much lower can this go? And even if like we come back down and test like 1 to 1, like whatever, we've been like consolidating at this ratio. So does it really matter for like the next 6 months if you get in anywhere down here? Like I think this thing's about to pop. I mean, maybe not. Maybe it stays range bound forever. And now was the time to sell AlienX and then buy down here, sell, buy, sell, buy. But I'm just looking at this like, all right, this thing is gonna start to pop. Maybe I'm tripping, but I added a little AlienX. That was my move right there. We printing with beast and dominance with the memory you need to be. Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. I'm not balling like that. Secure the gains, bro. On Google, I'm in dominance. That's the one I'm gonna ride out. So if it dips to 55 cents, I'm gonna just sell my gas and Misor. I just buy it at the bottom because dominance, bro. Sami's gonna be pushing the people's Bitcoin hard because once PDI, the narrative I think is dead now. I think he's gonna pivot to the people's rat Bitcoin. So once he's showing that like crazy, I think it's gonna pump hard and dominance being tied to that. I just think that's just the one I like, bro. I want to stack that Bitcoin. It's got such a low supply. And I actually bought a lot of most. I sold the last 30 billion remember I had for most a little while ago. So I think I'm up to like 12,000 of them. So like a $600 bag is pretty big for me for a coin like this. But I know a lot of people that are behind in this with big bags. So I think it's going to do phenomenal. And then Neon, that's my other sleeper because they're introducing leverage trading. They're the only place that you could trade leverage I know of on Pulse Chain coming. So up to 10x leverage. I can't wait for that. I know Goo's going to be all over it. So once they release this, I think Neon's going to start getting some eyes. And it's got the PTGC blueprint. It's got some of the Volt auctions. So I love it. That's my other sleeper. So yeah, guys, use the tracker here for the beast ecosystem if you need it. Titan X hub. We had some hard pumps. Oh my god, Lotus just came down 20%. Damn it. I have my last two max stakes come out tonight and tomorrow morning. And of course, we get a friggin' dip. Oh, if I was just 2 days early, I would have sold out. But the funny thing is, I think now the Titan X I put in was worth $57 and my Lotus is worth like 18. So that 20% dip was like $4. So it's a laughing stock at this point. Well, yeah, I got to check my Element 280 rewards and see. I haven't been on there in months. I'm scared to look to see if they're still dead or if we got anything left. Clayed your blast. Ah, you dumped it down, you asshole. Oh, I'm just kidding. But guys, this market is getting so bullish. All right, it's about to change like crazy. The last thing we need here is regulations, and you're starting to hear a lot about them being put together and about to be launched by August at the latest. And when that happens, the floodgates will be open. I promise you. US SEC delays decisions on Polkadot and Hedera ETFs as agency weighs dozens of crypto proposals. So, guys, that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to unleash a bunch of them at once. And I've been saying it for a while. Watch for the BlackRock XRP ETF. That's going to be the main driver of liquidity into the market. One of them. All right. The CME to launch XRP futures. So this right here, guys, is exactly what I was talking about in the title, where crypto is now Wall Street's best friend because they are going to write paper on top of it. They're going to take the underlying asset, which is Bitcoin, Solana, Cardano, XRP, SWI, Toncoin, anything, and they're going to make leverage ETFs on them. So the underlying assets go up because they're deflationary in nature over time. So eventually the supplies are out. They're going to be deflationary. So what they're going to do is launch these ETFs. Some of them are going to be leveraged. So what we're going to do is say you have, well, right now the ETFs are not in kind, right? So if you buy a Bitcoin ETF and you sell it, you don't get Bitcoin back. You get cash. So right now they're proposing to change that to in kind. So when you go into an ETF with ETH or an ETH ETF, you can leave it in ETH or any. So all of the different ETFs you can enter in crypto, exit in crypto, or I probably enter in cash and exit in crypto if you want. I'm not too sure, but regardless, the in kind is what matters because it's a win-win for everybody, right? The custodians make money for holding the assets. The brokers make fees for trading them. Everybody wins who's holding them because they appreciate in value in the long run. Every other one of these products, gold, commodities, small cap real estate funds, they figure out ways to manipulate the shit out of them. But with crypto, these are going to be much different. These are the only way out for everyone. So this is where it's about to absolutely explode. And that's what we're going to watch today. I'm going to play you a video of Alan from the Staple Group who breaks down exactly how the banks are going to do this. And you guys are going to be blown away. We're going to be earning potentially 5% a month on our assets. Imagine that. You got 10,000 XRP right now, which is 20 grand. I've been telling you accumulate it since 40 cents. So that should have cost you 4 grand for that 10,000 XRP. It goes to $10. It's worth 100 grand. You go and you buy $100,000 of the XRP 2X ETF, and that pays out a yield because when you give them your XRP, they start market making with it, and they make up to like 20% with what they do when they market make with coins. So they can afford to pay you back 5%. I know it sounds crazy now. I just heard it in Alan's stream, but guys, it's the game changer. So stack the freaking blue chips, Hedera, Stellar, Link, XRP. I mean, even Bitcoin, but the upside is there. They're going to fuck. Yeah, bro, but they are, but they're not, bro. Wait till you listen to this video I play you from Alan from the Staple Group, bro. It's really going to show you how it's going to be a win-win for everybody. This is the first time in history because the assets are finite and deflationary. So they're going to go up over time regardless. They can't manipulate them down like gold or, you have a tech ETF where, oh shit, they just diluted all the stocks, they printed them, and they had whatever happened. So the shares got diluted, values down across the board. The worst case that can happen in these new crypto ETFs is if there's a down month, you don't earn any yield. So maybe, you don't earn anything. So if you could have 10,000 XRP right now, which costs 20 grand, it goes up to 100 and you can make $5,000 a month on that. That's 60K a year. There's a full-time job for everybody. Your world just changed completely. And this is what's coming, guys. I've been talking about institutional DeFi for almost 3 years on the channel, showing you guys so much on Pulse Chain, how to earn yield with these reflection coins. We were in the liquidity pools, but in the farms, and those were a losing proposition unless you're a whale. But minting NFTs, putting the profits into other projects. All the different staking opportunities on liquid staking on Hedera, the Casper staking, Veracity I was showing you the other day. I just added to my bag. Nexion. Here, I got my entire bag staked in the Holovault, earning 10% roughly, 9.87%, and a little bit of Inkback. It's not much, but whatever. Look where PTGC was 2 years ago. Look where it is now. So that's how you got to think. So there's opportunity for yield everywhere. And when the banks and institutions come in, that's all they're going to be seeking is yield. And we're on top of that. Dovu, the liquid staking on Hedera. Dovu has been crushing it lately, guys. Sources claim HBAR and Circle are working on a PayPal competitor with Hedera council member Google. So I wonder if they're going to buy someone out like Stronghold or work with Velo or one of these Web3 companies that they can just buy that have the infrastructure already set up. Or they're working on a new Google Pay app just built on Circle with USDC and HBAR, because HBAR is native to Circle's native to Hedera and Stellar. And very, very people know that USDC Circle used to be USD Stellar back in the day. All right. So Stellar's not going anywhere. They're a sleeping giant. But man, we're getting so bullish. So bullish. Shit, there was one thing that I was looking at. Oh yeah, Dovu. Well, Dovu I was worried about because the carbon credits, it was like, man, what you can only do so much with carbon credits. And it's tough to find clients. But now Dovu is growing all over the place. They're building on top of their app for a bunch of different use cases. Proof of origin, proof of authenticity, proof of issuer identity, secure immutable sequences of events for each asset with verified signatures on chain. Dovu's automated audit trail ensures accuracy and transparency for any real world asset. So it's not just carbon credits. They're building a real world asset platform now. Powered by Dovu, we build real world solutions to real world problems and we make them really easy to use. We're enterprise ready. So I've had my Dovu staked for 3 years. And it's been almost over 2 in Hashpack Wallet. And I get about 60 coins a day. So it's the price is nothing. I think my bag is worth like $600 or $700, like 900,000 coins. But 60 coins a day, that's what, 20,000 a year? That's not bad. And if the price keeps going up in 2, 3, 4 years, that $600 turns to 10, 20,000. And now you just start living off of your interest from all the different coins that you've accumulated because they have a use case. They've been building for years. They have great teams. They have great social media. They have a vision. And those are the projects that if you find, you're going to be successful. You just got to get in early. BlockV, an incredible project, building out smart NFTs for all the different businesses out there, Starbucks and Dick's and the airlines, when they have their apps, all the little apps you have for different platforms, BlockV is going to be integrating their NFTs into them. Such a cool use case. Propy, real estate on chain. Ondo, tokenizing assets and bringing funds on chain. They just crossed over $1 billion with the Biddle fund. They're going to be launching them like crazy. Cubic, the best AI coin out here. Going to do 1000x or be a complete bust. At the absolute bottom, your downside risk from here is literally, I mean, the all-time low from right here, you have a 50% dip. That's your downside for 1000x gainer. There's nothing else like that in crypto. Cubic is a gem. You'll be thanking me for it in the future. Just like LCX, we got into 3 cents and we just been chilling and holding it. It's been up and down, up and down. And this is where I sold some for Axelar at the beginning of the year. Just because Axelar is so important for interoperability with what they're doing with the XRP ledger and 60 different blockchains. They're the glue to that. So they're going to be a beast. So I think it's just going to do a little bit better than LCX. I think exchanges are going to kind of start to fade out, the centralized ones. So LCX definitely be getting out of this cycle. And I'm almost honestly wanting to sell some LCX for OXO. So I was looking, I don't have new money to put in right now to add to this bag, but LCX is down, or OXO is down 9x from where it was at the beginning of the year. And LCX is down 2.5x. So the upside is just insane. I bet if I swap LCX for that, for OXO, in 2-3 months, I'll be able to have my bag of 10,000 LCX back. So I'm actually going to do that tonight, and we'll keep an update on how that trade goes. So that's the only thing I'm doing. So, oh God, bro, Guga, you're killing me, bro. Don't do that. Please buy it back, dude. Please, for God's sakes, buy it back. Cubic is literally one of the top 3, my top 3 most bullish coins. Bro, Cubic, I cheated, bro. I couldn't resist. All right. I had to do it. I had to open it. And guess what? Guess what the first gem was inside the altcoin genie? Cubic. All right. So you cannot fade the lamp, bro. It's the altcoin genie lamp. I got it from Satoshi. It came to Vibra Finance from Satoshi, and the address was actually in Vietnam. But Cubic was in there. All right. So don't sell it, bro. Especially in here, because where we bought it was at not 8x higher price. So selling it here is just getting crushed, because buying $1,000 now will like 3x your bag from where we bought in. And I know King can will do just the same if there's 1K in liquidity not added right now. So yeah, guys, Dovu, incredible passive income. Karate Combat, earning constantly. You know, we just had another event. Willie, you should have got it on that one. There was the bowling event that just happened on Karate Combat. So I think I won like 38,000 karate coins on that one. So just passive income, guys. My Hex Stakes paying me every day. PTGC paying me every day. UFO. And with what's coming, Alan's about to let you know. So that's all I got. And we're going to listen to the last 15 minutes of this. I think you're really going to like it, because Alan is a legend. And you guys should give him a follow. So let's go.
Happen now, right? It's going to go up. He's like, of course. And what happened? We've been going up. They're taking some profits right now, so it's leveling off a bit. But number go up going forward here. This man's opinion. When you take the leverage off of that market, in particular that second trade that couldn't go any lower, you can imagine when everybody was down at 78 or 76, and they're thinking, okay, well, here it comes again. It's going to break down through that, and it's going to go lower. And it didn't. All those short leverage trades got wiped out. Makes long buys. But who's not buying, in particular Bitcoin, but who's not buying crypto right now? Public. They're not buying Bitcoin. They're not buying any crypto. So who made the number go up? Why did proportionately in the beginning Bitcoin go up so much faster than all the other coins? Institutional money is buying Bitcoin. The public isn't buying Bitcoin. Once the institutions started buying Bitcoin, making Bitcoin go up faster than all the others, what happened to the retail market? That's right. They started buying Solana. They started buying XRP, and that made them go up faster than the institutional money, because the institutional money doesn't show up in the retail numbers that you and I look at. What happened was they pushed it through, and it looks like you're buying more XRP percentage-wise, but you're actually not, because behind the scenes in the OTC, all of the Bitcoin that's actually available is being dried up. That's for a whole nother video. I'm just telling you how the market moves. When I saw all that occur, that told me exactly everything I needed to know. What that tells me is this new liquidity that's going to be bouncing into these banks with these new rate cuts, and they are going to have to find a place to put it. And the home loans will start coming down, and they will write some real estate paper, of course. They also have the commercial bank real estate in the bank house that is a mess. That's not good capital. They know it. So they're going to have to write a bunch of that off. But these mid-level banks are about to start packaging products for you to make money with your crypto. How do I know this? Because Kraken's telling it. How do I know this? Because Ripple buys something like, oh, I don't know, Hidden Road, who's doing that. Oh, and the CME is going to do what? One of the largest trading institutions in the world are going to start selling XRP futures. What does all of that mean to you? I'll wait for the comments. What does that mean to you? It means that you're very early, but who gets to profit first? You do. Because you watch shows like this one and better shows than this one that tell you, oh, you might want to be in the high yield product because liquidity's coming. When liquidity's coming, when interest rates are falling, high yield makes sense. Why? Because they aren't going to be able to make enough money off the interest rate. Remember what I said at the beginning, the central bank doesn't want to give those guys any incentive. They don't want to loan them money when the interest rates are right now high. They want to give them the money after they start dropping the interest rates. They're going to flood their bank when they can't make any money. So they're going to look for returns. Where are those returns at? I just told you about a high yield and the bot trading, and they trade vol. They trade the volatility of a market. That vol is all in crypto. That vol, as everybody knows, oh, that's a vol, too volatile. We can't trade that market. The bots trade it all day long. They make 20, 24% on their money every month. You get to make 5 to 8. You get 25% to 30% of their trade every month. That's where you come in. All of that whole picture comes to this conclusion for this man's mind.
Why is Amazon paying me $63,000 a month? Well, I didn't make this kind of money selling.
The entire market is going to be based upon returns. The entire thing. This is something that the world has figured out, because building plants and a new widget and a new product is not the profit they're looking for. They have a digital profit ability that you and I have already been messing around with. So old legacy is tied up in all these previous loans and all of this debt market loan. Those are debt-based products. Are they still going to be relevant? Of course, you're going to have people like Tether and Circle and other people that are going to be buying the US treasuries. And these banks are going to be forced to buy these treasuries because the other countries don't want to buy these American treasuries, because we're sort of tightening up. Every country is being less globalist, and they're being more of taking care of their own neighborhood, their own country, okay, their own continent, if you will, in some cases. And what that means is you and I have an opportunity to make money within your nation state with a global product. That lends opportunity for you to not just trade in the US market, but the whole world's going to come to the US market, because we have a administration that believes that they can make, in my opinion, the poor the middle class, and the middle class the wealthy. And they think they can do that in the next 2 to 5 years. And one of the ways they're going to do that is with the products in which you and I own. They've already told us all that. You and I already see it. We already hear about it. The fundamental news is all around the place daily. And nobody else is looking for it. Nobody's hearing about it. I'm talking to this doctor who owns the yacht next door, and the guy doesn't know anything about what I'm talking about. He thinks I'm speaking Portuguese again. And it's just like, to me, it's a shame that nobody gets it. But I think that means you and I get very well to do very quickly. Is it going to happen next month? No. but that liquidity has already hit the G2, and it's going to come to a bank near you before the end of July, from what I understand. I'm even told, this is what I'm told, didn't say it, unquestionably this is what's going to happen, but they mentioned it to me. These trading brokerages, okay, are going to be giving liquidity. Just wrap your head around that. In other words, they're going to create so much money that they're going to have to give it to the brokerages. They're going to give it to the Coinbases, the Krakens. They're just saying that that's a possibility. I didn't hear that. I don't have any proof of that, but they're saying they're giving us money, possibly. And I'm like, wow. That means it's getting there. It's not just going to be, they're not trying to just leave it for the wealthy. They're actually trying to allow people to put the money down to where it can actually work quicker, faster. And what are those people going to do with their money? Well, you and I know what it means when retail FOMOs into crypto. I mean, it goes ballistic. And we've seen those markets before. Am I calling for that before the end of the year? No, I'm not necessarily calling for that. But what I am calling for is an obvious change in the way the money gets moved around the planet. That's coming to you. It's coming. It's very obvious to this man and to anybody that's been listening to this show. Okay, I think I covered most of what I really wanted to catch up on. Let's see, I did have another couple questions there. Let's remember that you and I own coins that represent a Ponzi scheme. So you hold something that's real, like almost like gold or XRP or Bitcoin or whichever coin you want to wrap your head around. You own something that's finite. Yet they keep interjecting this Ponzi scheme money to pay the bills of the previous debt, refinance the old debt into the new debt, old debt into the new debt. And on top of that new debt, we're just going to create a Basel IV so we can interject more debt into the banking system because, well, there's not enough student loans. There's not enough people buying real estate. We need to find something where we're going to find the best bubble to blow right now is going to be to the bank level, to people who are going to unafford or weren't as smart as you and I to pack their bags in DCA over the last, 5-10 years. They need the public to start packing those bags. I'm not guessing on that. I've heard that on a banking level, and that's coming to a teller window near you. And those products are already being packaged, already being written up, and they're going to be able to sell them to you. It's not against the law for a bank to sell you a financial product. And as we know, that changed back in the 80s. Reagan changed that. So that's all coming to a crypto bag near you. So that was another question I'd had. The other one was how much, okay, how obvious is it to everybody how worthless cash is? Well, it is, except for if you have a job or a career and you need this cash. Fundamentally, you have to have it. Without it, that's the lifeblood of the movement of money and the debt and the creation of more debt. But like I just said, when you're dealing with a finite product and it's in the arena of something that isn't finite, and it's, the only thing that is absolutely has no level of scarcity to it and has any limitations to it at all on the face of this planet is creating more digits that evaluate to money. So the bubble can be as big as they want it to be. The bubble will be as big as they want it to be. So I hear a lot of people telling me there's a reset coming. The reset's going to be this, and it's going to change everything, and we're going to have this, 4 years of downtrend. I mean, possibly that could happen, but I've been hearing about that since 2009. So, maybe, but if that were going to really crash and that were going to happen, I would have thought that would have happened in 2020 when the whole world locked down and nobody went to work. I'm pretty sure that would have happened then. Because remember, when something breaks around your house or when you need to fix something, you'll go into debt to fix it. If you need a washing machine, you're going to need a washing machine. I mean, kids have to have a washing machine. They got to go to school to clean clothes. I mean, eventually, we don't have a creek to pound them on a rock and, wash them in the sand. We don't have any of that anymore. You'll go in debt. You'll borrow more money. And that's the whole Ponzi scheme. So when somebody tells you, oh, they're just going to flip this whole Ponzi scheme and they're just going to dump the whole thing into crypto. No. Number one, you don't want that to happen because that creates a finite number of how many valuations that your crypto could go up to. Okay? Remember, you want the money there. You want dollars, digits to grow all the time because that makes your scarce asset more valuable.
Hi, I'm Brett.
And I'm Jonathan. This is Darla.
And we're good.
Well, I think that about covers it. I know it's a Thursday night. I know I'm not live. I can't.
All right. What do you think, guys? Isn't that crazy? It's how the changes that are coming. So if you don't follow Alan, follow Stable Crew. He actually has, this is like a 3-part series.
What is happening?
That he's done on Thursdays. So trust your exit plan. There was another one last week that was just as good right here 7 days ago. I would watch this one right here. And then you just saw that one. I think there was that. Yeah, that's all. This one right here was just as good, where he talks about a lot more how the system is going to work, how the average person is going to get money, is just going to have more money. AI is going to create a lot of deflation. A lot of jobs are going to go, and they're going to have to replace that with something. So, yeah, guys, this is good stuff. We're positioned perfectly. You know, this is why it's so important. I can't stress it enough to be into the right coins and just hold. Even if people, you have this stigma or you've heard this or that, I've done the research. I promise you, I have nothing to sell you here. I just want everyone to win that's been here in this bear market waiting for their coins to go up, that's been sold a false dream or some bullshit. You know, get into Hedera, get into XRP, get into Stellar, get into Flare, get into Axelar, get into Cubic. Those 5, that is financial advice. Anyone that's telling you, oh, this is not financial advice, this is not financial advice, that's a red fucking flag. Why? Why are you so scared to tell people buy the best cryptos out there that could potentially change their life? I'm all in. I show you my portfolios whenever. I'm as transparent as can be. I own everything that I tell you guys to buy because I've done the research and I own the best projects with the most upside and the best track record. So no matter what happens, if you own those projects that check those boxes, you're going to win in the long run. It's proven. It's worked for the last 4 years through this bear market. We've had so many winners, and we've just started to scratch the surface on where this is going. So you can listen to me, who's here every single day doing research. I'm obsessed with this shit, and I want to own the best coins to where I can just put them to work, earn 5% a month, and just chill on the farm. Or you can go buy whatever coins you think are going to outperform these or are going to replace Swift or kill XRP or whatever it is. But good luck to you. So smash that like button. We'll see you tomorrow night.